Easy Sports Talk Show with Javon Adams and Ed Smith. My name is Javon Adams. You can call me Jay or J Love. That is Ed Smith. Not only did he play professional baseball, but he also played in the National Football League for that first Super Bowl-bound team for the Atlanta Falcons. He's an author. He's a motivational speaker. What is good, my brother?
Man, what a crazy week in the NFL. Man, you just cannot call it from one to the next. Every week, just when you think you got to figure it out, some of these crazy things happen, man. Shout out to Washington and the Hail Mary. Man, I almost thought I was going to hit if I could jump, I would have hit my head on the ceiling as excited as I was. Unfortunately, I was sitting on the couch. I didn't move too far, but man, that was crazy. Great week of football so far.
Yeah, and that's what we were going to get into is a Week 8, recap of Week 8. We know that there's still the Monday night game to come, and then I want to get your thoughts on the World Series to this point. But we do this thing 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Make sure you tell a friend about what we have going on here. So let's get to it. So you can take it wherever you want if there are other games you want to get in on. But that Jayden Daniels, it was the victory over the Chicago Bears. What was interesting to me, and I'm sure that you saw the highlights, not only two things that went on there. One, there's the footage of the player from Chicago that's egging on the crowd, saying that the game is over essentially. And so he was caught. He was kind of out of place, out of position where he needed to be in order to have an impact on that play. So let that be a cautionary tale to anybody out there. Wait until the zeros are all on the board. Make sure you are locked in on what you're supposed to do. And number two, the play, you're supposed to knock it down, right? I've never played. Yeah. I just played backyard football, but you're supposed to knock that thing down because if you look at the ball, it was actually a couple yards short of the goal line, and it was batted up in the air, and then the Washington Commanders player was there to be able to catch the ball. It just a comedy of errors. Everything had to go right for Washington, and a lot of stuff went wrong for Chicago.
Well, here's the thing: as an offensive player, I was always out there. Our job is to catch the ball, so I was never defensively out there to knock it down. I can only think of how much temptation there is for defensive players, everybody gets paid to do their job, and they're supposed to knock it down. But how much nicer is it to finish that game off with an INT, a cheap one at that? I'll tell you, every DB likes the end of the first half and the end of the game in Hail Mary, because that's like free money if you can get it, right? So the temptation, you know what you're supposed to do. Right? You're supposed to just knock it down. It's supposed to be an incomplete pass. But how nice is it to get that cheap INT, right? And it fools them every time. And most of the time they get away with it because they either knock it down or it just gets in the pile and, falls harmlessly to the ground. That was executed perfectly by the Chicago Bears. By the Washington Commanders. They had the quarterback that scrambled around long enough to let everybody get down there so there wasn't rust. So he basically gave everybody an opportunity to get to their spots. And then, he had just enough arm to get it close enough, which was aided by a 12-yard out that the Bears let them run the play before. If they don't let them complete that the play before, just, hey, go ahead and take this 12 yards. We're talking about a ball that lands around the 10-yard line instead of at the goal line, somewhere at the goal line. But, okay, you give him that 12 yards, he gets the ball, you give him enough time, he gets enough air under it, and then they perfectly executed. They had the 2 or 3 dudes fighting for it in the pile, and the dude just without anybody watching, just drifts to the back, waiting for that, deflection to just pop right into his arms. And that's exactly what happened. And that, man, I'm telling you, man, when something like, I can only imagine being in that locker room after that game, because you talk about snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. That was unbelievable. And the bad part, and I know, there's some movies out there that people say are not great movies, but they just had a great ending. And one of them, I think people are missing this one. A lot of people talk about The Sixth Sense. I thought that was a great movie, but because the ending, I'm with you. I think it was a great movie, right? a lot of people will say, well, it was an okay movie, but it had an unbelievable ending. That's the same thing about this game. The game itself stunk. And I'm not saying the Sixth Sense did. Sixth Sense was a great movie with a great ending. But according to some, it was a decent movie with a outstanding. This game stunk for the most part. It was in the teens. Neither one of the great young quarterbacks played great. If it would have ended with that ball being knocked down, it'd have just been like, oh my God, I'm glad that one's over. But because of the ending, everybody's running around and it's like, oh my God, it's one of the great. It was a great ending to a so-so game, but I'd rather have that. Like I said, that ball would have just hit the ground. That'd have been so lackluster. That was unbelievable the way that game ended. And kudos. What's really kind of Jayden Daniels, he's putting his stamp on this league already. Whereas the number one pick, Caleb Williams, he's not struggling, but it still doesn't look as good as Jayden Daniels. So this is 2 years in a row where our number two pick is outside the number one at least a little bit. And, right now, in meetings across the country, in Washington right now, let me see, it's about 11:30. They're probably somewhere in the middle of getting ready to start watching this. Boy, there's going to be a big cheer at the end. And somewhere in Chicago where they're an hour behind, man, it's going to be a rough watch. All right, gentlemen. Okay. We're going to have to pick ourselves up after this one. Just amazing, the tale of two cities, man. And all because of the Hail Mary.
So from whether it's your exultation or whether it's being upset and dejected, we go to another team, the Jets. The Jets lose again. And I just wanted your thoughts on this. One, because it just seems what even the interim head coach said that they're essentially this is darkness, or they're in a dark place. And I'm kind of paraphrasing here. I wonder, Devontae Adams, is he saying, what? I could have at least been in Vegas over there. At least I could have just been in Vegas. I could go and enjoy the nightlife in Vegas. I'm close to Los Angeles real quick. I can enjoy that West Coast, with weather, all that stuff. But I'm here because I wanted to go. And as Bomani Jones has said, it's not show. It's not. He's looking at it as a friend business or friend business as opposed to show business, or show friends as opposed to show business. And he's in a bad spot. He still has I think he's in year 3 of a 5-year contract, and $140 million. And he's in purgatory. I mean, I know that the Raiders aren't a lot better, but I'm just saying you went from bad to worse. And it just doesn't seem to make sense.
And you know who has absolutely zero sympathy for him? This dude right here. Because Devontae worked his way out of Green Bay because of Aaron Rodgers. Because of Aaron Rodgers and his flip-floppiness and darkness, retreats and this and the and every year it was getting more and more. Well, is he back? Is he coming? Is he not? And so Devontae got tired of having his string attached to him. So what does he do? He works his way out of Green Bay to go to play with his homeboy in Las Vegas. And they eventually show his boy, Derek Carr, the door, and now he's left there by himself. So you would say, well, you did that to yourself. So once again, what does he do? He works his way out with a bad hammy, right? Yeah. Works his way out with a bad hammy. He wants to be traded, and these are his destinations. And lo and behold, the two destinations that he talks about are with his homeboy Derek Carr in New Orleans, which is a train wreck. They've now lost 6 in a row. Carr is hurt. Or his other spot was to the New York Jets, where we see what they've become. Instead of, could have very easily said, I want to go to play with the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen and, a team that probably one of the higher, probabilities to go to the AFC Championship game and beyond, possibly beyond. Could have orchestrated his way to a winner. Instead, he wants to go play with his boys. And he's getting exactly what he deserved and what he bargained for. because you put this on yourself. He did that to himself. So I have zero sympathy for him. And so we reap what we sow. Well, you ever seen that movie? Was it, oh my goodness, The Great White Hype? Remember that one?
Yes.
With
yes.
Samuel L. Yeah. And in the end, your boy tries to do the flip-flop on him, and he's like, you reap what you sow. He's like, yeah, you reap what you sow. Yeah. And you get what you deserve. That's basically what he got. He earned every right of that paycheck from the New York Jets.
Indeed. So now I'll let you choose exactly where we go here if there's another game. So there's the Browns that beat the Ravens. So Jameis Winston was eating W's yesterday. And then also the Lions, they beat down the Titans 52-14. Or was there another game that caught your eye?
Oh my goodness. Oh, you know what? The way that the Ravens, I'm tired of trying to figure them out. Just when you give them all the credit in the world and they could be a Super Bowl team and they run the ball and they do this with Henry. I know it was a divisional game against the Browns, but they just lost Deshaun Watson last week, and some might say that was actually an advantage. But you have Jameis Winston, I mean, as a quarterback, and nothing against him, but he's, relegated himself to backup material. And this is an opportunity for you to just go handle your business. I mean, we're not asking you even style push, nothing like that. Just go handle your business. I don't care how you walk away, but walk away with a W. And they can't even do that. And this is why you can't have any faith in them moving into the postseason. For me, there's always a game like this waiting from Baltimore, and it never fails. It's at the most crucial times in the playoffs. And until they win one and actually go all the way to the dance, and I'm seeing them hoist the trophy, this game right here and others like them are always going to be in the back of my mind. So when it comes time to pick, they're always going to be downgraded just a little bit for me because of games like this. Whereas on the flip side, Kansas City went into Vegas and they found a way to win rather than lose. And that's just the difference. I mean, there's a reason why one team has 3 Super Bowls over the last 4 or 5 years, and the other one is still sniffing, trying to get to their first in this iteration of the team. And it's all, like I said, consistency. And they show you just how inconsistent they can be sometimes. I don't understand them.
So before we get to talk about the World Series, just real quick, for those who love hip hop, if you listen to the show, I do a little bit of MCing myself. My nom de plume is J Love. Make sure you check out my new project. It's called MC Sessions. Wherever you listen to music, go ahead and just type in MC Sessions. So the letter M, letter C, Sessions. You can also go to jlove.bandcamp.com. Again, jlove.bandcamp.com. 5 tracks on there. Really, really proud of it. I think, I'm very confident that you will love it and that you'll like it and that you'll put it on repeat. So again, MC Sessions, go ahead and check that out. And don't forget, as we talk football, Ed and I, we have our weekly podcast that we do called Believe in the Arizona Cardinals, and it's twice a week. So it's on Mondays and Thursdays. The new episode is out now. Mondays, we look back on the game that was, and then Thursday, we look ahead to the next opponent. So if you're not an Arizona Cardinals fan, but you know somebody who's an Arizona Cardinals fan, let them know about it. Wherever they listen to podcasts, just have them type in Believe in the Arizona Cardinals. That's BLEAV in the Arizona Cardinals. Make sure you check that out. EasySportsTalk.com. He is Ed Smith. I am Javon Adams. The World Series Game 3 is tonight. It's 2-0 advantage of Dodgers. I missed the walk-off home run from Game 1. The Dodgers were victorious. But I was paying attention to Game 2. It was a Dodger victory, of course, since they're up 2-0, but it was in dramatic fashion. Both games in dramatic fashion. The Yankees had the bases loaded and the opportunity to be able to push across the winning run, and they just weren't able to do it. I know that because it's now the playoffs and the World Series, that you were paying attention to the game, the high drama. Want your thoughts on the World Series thus far, and will the Yankees be able to make this a series and pull out Game 3?
I am in my baseball glory, man. This is these first two games, the Goliaths that we have in the World Series to begin with, Dodgers, Yankees, and then to have them both playing as well as they are. We're getting a little taste of everything, Jay. We're getting good to, dare I say, a couple great pitching episodes by the Dodgers. We're also getting great timely hitting from both. The Dodgers just happen to be a little more clutch right now with the walk-off in Game 1. Once again, if I had the ability to jump, I would probably hit my head on the ceiling fan. But and then to hold off the Yankees from scoring. But then you get like little individual pockets. That doggone Juan Soto, bruh, that dude has made himself so much money through the regular season and in these playoffs. I mean, I don't even know if they have enough money printed yet for him. He has done so well. Giancarlo Stanton with the Yankees, he's doing it. The one person that's not doing it, Judge, he is struggling. And I've been there before.
I heard the argument. That maybe they should move him down in the lineup. What would you do if you were the skipper for that team? Would you leave him where he is? Would you move him up? Would you move him down? What would you do?
I'd give another opportunity at home. There's a reason why you are where you are in this season, and it's because of him during the regular season, hitting where he's hitting and doing what he was doing. It's just untimely and bad timing that he's struggling now. All through the playoffs, he's pretty much struggled. But, in this series, and he's not – here's the thing. He's struggling by not even putting the ball in play right now. He's striking out on an incredible heater right now. And that's when – and here's the thing, Jay, I'm watching, and I am literally – talking my son through what I'm seeing. He's pulling off on everything. They've got him so wound up in his own head right now. Show him a fastball up that he can't hit, and then softened to death away with the sliders and the breaking stuff. He's trying to pull everything. And the crazy part, I've watched this man go oppo, hit balls to dead center and right field over the fences. So I know he has the ability, doesn't have to pull off on everything. But for whatever reason he is, and his hitting staff and himself, they have not made the adjustment. So until he gets out of that, right now they've got a slot where if we throw him the soft stuff here and the fast stuff here, they've got him so scripted that he couldn't, if you just told him what was coming, he couldn't hit it. And I've been there before. And the problem is, he's on the biggest stage that there is, trying to figure it out on the fly. And you can't afford, like if this was a regular season, you give him a couple of days off. But we got a long road trip. We're finishing up. We're going to sit you, just take a day off. We're only coming in for batting practice. And I've seen that before. Don't even come in for batting practice. I want you to show up, game time. I'm not even going to use you today. Just take the day off. And that's what you do on a day in July or August. This is unfortunately the World Series. There are no days off. You got to try to find your way out of the funk. He's hitting in a paper bag right now and in a plastic bag. He cannot find his way out of it. He's wrapped up in it. They got the drawstring drawn and they are just butchering. They're killing him right now. So we'll see. And there's always ways to try to find your way out of it. You hit until your hands bleed and you figure it out, or you have to just get away from it. I don't know what philosophy they're going to use, but they've got to do something other than what they've been doing to this part. But otherwise, like I said, you got Ohtani. Everybody seems to, Mookie Betts. Everybody's invited to the party, and Judge is there as well, but he's standing out on the back porch. Somebody locked the door on him, the patio door, and he can't find his way back in right now. And I feel bad for him because he should be out there, especially what he's brought to the regular season, should be a part of this big thing that's going on. But we'll see. I'm going to continue to watch him, but just great games so far. Now, does it get interrupted by one of those bullpen session games? I hope they don't revert to that. I haven't seen who starting pitching is for the Dodgers.
Buehler for the Dodgers and Schmidt for the Yankees.
Okay. Well, I hope we get regular. Now, you brought something up when we were talking. The analytics are obviously killing the game a little bit. Your boy Boone just can't find his way around getting away from an analytics sheet because and then even Roberts got caught up in it with Yashimoto, or I think it's Yamamoto, I think his name was dealing the other day. And instead of letting him continue on, they even take him out of the game. And that's going to cost somebody at some point. He's going through the third time through lineup, so we can't let him face him. We got to take him out after, and man, when a pitcher's dealing, you would have a hard time. Well, I don't care what the numbers say. You'd have a hard time having me come walk out to the mound to get that one of those dudes that's just, So we hope we can stay away from a little bit of that. But otherwise, man, it's been a great series so far. I've enjoyed it. And, I'll probably end up watching the baseball game over the football game tonight.
Okay. So what do you think Game 3 goes to? Think Game 3 goes to the Yankees?
I think the Yankees get this one. Yeah. I mean, go home, a little home cooking. They'll figure out a way, to get it done. That short porch out there in right field, between Soto, we'll get him, started. We will see if Judge makes any adjustments, but I think somehow, some way the Yankees get Game 3 tonight.
All right. So he is one and only Ed Smith. I am Javon Adams. Make sure you go to EasySportsTalk.com. EasySportsTalk.com. Go ahead and jump on our subscriber list as well, so that way you can be notified when the podcast drops. Go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Easy Sports Talk Show, and make sure you tell a friend about what we have going on here. So as we always like to say around this time, you can.